Percy, go ahead.
Hey, for this is for AC. Just after your team played so well just 3 days ago, and knowing what was at stake tonight with the cup, just what's the level of frustration, I guess, after this one, and then particularly with like in the first three quarters when you guys fell behind by 22.
Yeah, I mean, there's some frustration just because a lot of the stuff that we were doing tonight just wasn't characteristic. We got stagnant. We had 16 turnovers that I don't even know how many points it led to. Second chance, like it led to a lot of points for them. And playing against a team that's scrappy, Nat is a fiery, scrappy person, so that's how her team plays. And so when you're doing that against them, they're being aggressive. It's gonna always favor the team that's more aggressive than the stagnant team. So yeah, disappointed, but proud of the way that we just didn't give in. These are early tests for us. When you're on the road and things get difficult, how are you going to respond? And I'm proud of the way that we at least fought back.
Thank you.
All right, Michelle, go ahead.
As right here, Michelle Smith, the next. Can you talk a little bit about the atmosphere tonight and in the environment in the arena? This is obviously a new building for the league, and how you think it impacted you or what the reaction was for your team.
Yeah, I think we obviously know playing on the road is difficult, and we've seen the games where the Valkyries fans show up, whether it's 18, 19,000 fans, and so we knew it was gonna, be their sixth man on the court tonight, and so just being able to mentally prepare for that. I think in times like that we have to stay connected on the court, and we do. I think, as AC said, just being able to come back. In the third and fourth quarter, but just knowing like that's going to be the atmosphere from the jump, and so starting the game a little bit better.
For I want to be, how were the Valkyries able to dominate so much in the paint, given they were an undersized team, but they had a 2-to-1 ratio?
Yeah, I mean, I think just energy. Obviously, like I said, we didn't come out strong in the first quarter. Took us a bit to get back, but I think that's just something, as AC said, is uncharacteristic of us. They are undersized, but I think, when they come together as a team, it's hard to kind of counter that. So I just think we have to be better. I think we know who we are as a team, and so just taking one step at a time.
All right, Jeff, we'll go to you on Zoom.
Yeah, for AC, just I guess talk about how their zone defense kind of affected you guys, kind of took you out of what you wanted to do.
Yeah, their zone is an aggressive zone, and I think um, that's where we got a little bit stagnant. We started second guessing things, and they're a team that once you put the ball on the floor, they come and attack. And so, they were able to disrupt early, and I think that, made us put us on our heels a little bit to where we were second guessing our decisions. Where, the other night we were thinking we were just moving the ball and making cuts and reads, and I think we got away from that a little bit tonight. So definitely something we're going to look at and make sure that we do a better job of moving forward.
Michelle, go ahead.
AC, for you, how much is familiarity? Obviously you guys scout, but this isn't a team you've played a million times. I mean, there are people who are playing together in a different way. How much is that a challenge for you all to play a team that you just don't know a lot about?
Yeah, that's where preparation comes into play. And, I don't think we were underprepared by any means. And like you said, you have players that we're familiar with, but these players, for other teams and franchises play different roles, so being able to see how they operate now in this new system under this new coach, the way they're taking on. I mean, you look at Kayla Thornton, and she was an important piece in New York and what she did, but her role here is completely different. So you're just seeing, I think, a more like a different version of these players than what we're used to. But these games, it's this now we have an idea, of the type of the way that they like to play. And so just making sure that as we move forward, just having a better understanding of that.
Jordan, we'll go to you next on Zoom.
Hey ladies, Jordan from Television Sports. So this is not related to the game, but it was announced earlier today that Sue Bird, along with Sylvia Fowles and everyone else, got inducted to the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So you both played with her. at some point in you guys' careers. So just talk about your thoughts on that and your favorite moments from playing alongside her.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was inevitable. So obviously just for me to be able to say I've played with Sue, I think it's obviously not something everyone can say. And I think some of my greatest moments were obviously on the court, but off the court as well. I think just her ability to impact a player, a person in the simplest of ways. And I think just being able to look up to her too, I think kind of picking her brain a little bit. She kind of started out not always the loudest in the room, but she obviously grew into the leader that she was. And so I think just being able to kind of translate that into my game. Obviously, I'm not the loudest in the room, but just getting to know people um, on an individual level and leading in that way is something that I really took from Sue. But yeah, just congrats to Sue, congrats to Sil as well.
Yeah, congrats, Birdie. That's amazing. Yeah, Sue's somebody that, I mean, she just embodies leadership, and she just embodies a champion. Everything that she does, from how she prepares for games, what she does off the court in her everyday life. So it was awesome being able to play with her for so long and learn from her, win alongside her. And so, I mean, it's more than deserving, and this is exciting to see our greats being recognized and getting their flowers. And to be able to celebrate that. She's a legend of this game. So to be able to see that and know, that we played alongside her is pretty awesome. So congrats, Birdie.
All right, Christian, we'll go to you next on Zoom.
Yes, my question is for the both of you. Just kind of wondering, like, what went into the rebounding advantage for Golden State? I mean, this is kind of one of the first times Seattle has had 20 rebounds in about 20 years. Just kind of wondering what you saw on the court there.
They just probably rebounded a lot more of our misses.
All right, next we'll go to Andrew on Zoom. Final question.
Thanks, Michaela. First for you, Ezzy, can you just talk about AC's play tonight, with how she's looking like she's in her 20s with how she's playing tonight? And AC, just if you had a word with Natalie after the game and how you want to get her back next time. First for you, Ezzy.
Yeah, I think I'm just so grateful to be able to get to play with AC again. And obviously tonight she had a huge impact, stats wise, but I think that's AC every single game. Like no matter what it shows on the score sheet, she's always in our ears. She's always talking. She always, sees the next actions before we do. So, she came up big for us in the comeback and hit some big shots for us. But that's AC day in and day out. So yeah, just I love playing with you.
Playing with you, Ezzy.
But yeah, just really proud of her.
Thanks, Ezzy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, we will go to Zoom. Percy, you want to go?
Hi, Coach. Just 11 games in to the season. 25% of the season is done. Just what is the challenge to be consistent with a team that played so well 3 days ago and yet had a really tough time in the first 3 quarters tonight?
Yeah, saying it, consistency. Trying to find some consistency and rotations to breed some consistent play. At the end of the day, our pros got to show up and be pros. Get the correct energy, focus needed, no matter who we're playing. The consistency is going to come when we just stay disciplined. We're not there yet.
Hey, Coach.
Your team definitely had size over the Valkyries, yet they outscored your team like I think 2-to-1 ratio of points in the paint. How were the Valkyries able to dominate inside like that?
We weren't sharp on our ball screen coverages. That was one. A lot of just downhill penetration without much physicality or aggressiveness to combat that. And then on the flip side, they were able to set their zone defense. So if we can't score, kind of can't get stops, can't score, is a recipe for disaster.
All right, Jeff, we'll go to you on Zoom.
Yeah, kind of more to that, Coach. Can you talk about the different things that Golden State did to take you out of your game for most of it, but then what you really liked about that fourth quarter, because obviously your team turned things around?
Yeah, we should have started the game a little bit more aggressive. When we got more aggressive, that happened later in the game. We were able to get some deflections and steals and some easier baskets because we weren't getting stops, but we had no flow to our offense. Even when they were in the zone, the looks that we were getting, we were so tentative, not taking the open looks or kind of being aggressive when we did have, some good execution in the zone. But I thought, later in the game, because we ratcheted up our coverages, that helped us.
All right, Christian, we'll go to you.
Hey, coach, I know in the pregame you asked a question about not really having a scout for this team because you haven't played them yet. Just kind of wonder how much that went into the adjustments from the first and second halves.
I mean, we knew every player was on the court. The newest player was Ariel Powers, and she didn't play a lot of minutes. We knew everybody who was on their roster. To me, it was just an energy and a focus, and a lack of execution of what we needed to do. We knew everybody who played, and we understood their what they could do on the basketball court. We just didn't execute.
Thank you.
First time playing here at Valhalla, a lot of people talk about the crowd and the fans. Just want to hear if that the team
Yeah, it's a great home atmosphere here. I think there are points of the game where we couldn't really hear one another, which is really beneficial for the home crowd and getting behind the team, especially in certain moments. And certain moments felt bigger than they were, like the threes at the end of the first half because of the crowd. That was their only two makes at that point, but it felt loud. The three felt loud because the energy was pretty loud. So kudos to Golden State for having some good fan support.
All right, Percy, we're back to you.
Hey, coach. Just not particularly this game, but in the big picture wise, you guys are 6-5. Just what things do you like? Again, in this first quarter of the season, the things that you guys are doing well, and the things that you would like to see you guys do over the next 3 quarters of the season.
Up to this point, I thought we're top in points in the paint. That means we're pretty efficient in those areas. Our fast break points, playing out of our defense, we're pretty efficient and top in those areas. And then honestly, our 3-point shooting up to this point, we don't take a lot, but we've been efficient. And then defensively, I think there's still a lot of room to grow. We have to be better with rebounding. Our focus needs to be more attentive to just kind of being fundamental in that area, being some go-getters and going to get those boards. And then defensively, we have to be better in our coverages, our aggression level, and making sure we're keeping people out the paint. We have to improve in that area.
Thank you.
Jeff, back to you.
Yeah, coach, can you talk about Alysha Clark's performance? And then if you had any words on Sue Bird Hall of Fame?
Yeah, AC played well. She gave us a really good boost off the bench, kind of moved her from 4 to 3, and she's found some rhythm, hit some big shots. And defensively, I thought she was really sharp, talking and communicating in the huddles and kind of being the quarterback on the floor defensively. And so it's good to see a couple of go through for AC and how she can really help us at certain points. And then with certain lineups, combating small ball and things like that. So really good minutes from AC and also really good minutes from Lexi as well. And then Sue Bird is Seattle. I think having the opportunity to play with Sue, coach her for a little bit, I understand why she is great because she puts the work in. She put the work in. She's super cerebral player and she's the ultimate competitor. To be in a Hall of Fame means you're one of the best ever to do it. And she is certainly that. And, I'm super appreciative of my time with her and super, amazing that she continues to do the things that she's doing even now away from basketball, being a conduit of the game and really representing herself, her community, Seattle, and all of women's basketball. So shout out to Sue for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.